And welcome back to another episode of
And on that note,
that was fun.
So,
Say something else.
okay.
So, guys, I need to talk about cervical cancer.
Oh, is it?
Yeah. Why? How come? Because
It's very important.
it's extremely important,
It
guys.
is.
I have a
It
story.
really is.
You know, I was reading the other day about well, you don't know.
gonna share.
I'm going to tell you. So the other day I was reading that the Jade Goody effect has completely disappeared. So a lot of people might not
Yeah.
know who Jade Goody is. So for those that were born in the noughties,
In the
or
noughties.
in the noughties, would have watched I suppose
Big
I don't know what
Brother.
season she was in. Season 5 or
The
season
first
4.
one, and then the
Yeah.
celebrity.
She
Oh, she
wasn't
was
in the first one.
Oh, no,
no,
wasn't
she
it?
wasn't in the
Oh.
first one. She definitely wasn't in the first one. But anyway, there was a lady called Jade Goody. God rest her soul. She's now died. She became famous by being on Big Brother. She wasn't the winner, but she was one of like the most
the
high
third runner-up,
profile
Yeah.
like characters on
She
the show.
secured the bag, boy.
Yeah,
She
exactly.
did.
She definitely secured the bag.
She did.
And she was a very, very, very young girl. And basically what had happened was she got into a relationship with this guy called, I think, Jeff Brazier or
Brazier,
something like that. And they went on to have 2 kids, 2 baby boys. And then just before they were about to get married, she found out that she had cervical cancer. And the reason why...
She was with someone else and the other guy.
Oh, really? Well,
Dark-haired
she was...
guy.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Sorry, she was somebody else. But she got married to Jeff, no?
No, the other
Yeah.
guy.
Oh, she got married to the
She
other
didn't
guy.
marry
She
Jeff.
just had kids with him.
But she got married
She
to
got
someone,
married to
basically.
Jeff.
Yeah, no, to
At
the
the
other
end.
guy.
Oh,
It was
the
other
younger guy.
Oh.
I
The one that went to
remember.
jail. Whatever his
Yeah,
name.
Oh,
yeah,
yes,
I
he
remember.
went
I
to jail.
remember. Yeah.
So basically, okay, yeah. So exactly what Danielle said. So anyway, she had 2 kids now, and then she basically was very early 20s, like not even 25 at this stage, and she died from cervical cancer, basically. And the reason why she died is because there was a limit of an age limit as to when you can actually go off and get a
21,
smear
I think.
test
Seriously?
at that time. I know, I think it was even
It was
23.
25.
23. you're
23
right.
I had
Yeah.
2025
yeah,
when I got
25.
mine.
Yeah, I think it was
And then they
25. It was
dropped it after
because,
two.
yeah, I think it was
Yeah.
25. And so apparently she had been going to the doctors several times beforehand.
And they didn't give her a
Yeah,
smear
and
test.
she wasn't allowed to have a smear test because she was underage.
Serious?
Yeah,
Yeah.
because
I didn't know this.
That's
You're
what the
not
law
allowed.
was.
It was
That's
like
what the law-
25.
But I
to
didn't
begin
know
with,
that's
and then it
why
dropped.
they couldn't. She didn't get caught
Yeah,
early.
it didn't get caught
Yeah.
early.
Is
So
mad.
she was always turned away and she wasn't able to have this. So it became such a big deal when she died because obviously, like I said, she became famous, like one of the first early like reality TV stars in the UK.
Yeah.
And so yeah, she died, and it was made such a big deal where they had this thing called the Jade Goody effect, where they then lowered down the consent age to now
Yeah.
get a smear test, and I think they made it. I think between 21 to 23, they made it anyway.
Yeah.
And so at that point, everybody, like lots of younger kids, were then going off to go and do their smear tests, etc. Like to go and make sure that they got checked out, blah blah blah. Now, several years have now passed, and now they're saying that between the ages of 25 to 29, it is at its lowest rate that individuals are going to get smear tests. And I think it's now risen by approximately like 50% within that age, within that age bracket, between the ages of 25 to 29, of ladies now getting
Diagnosed.
being diagnosed with,
That's really sad.
with cervical cancer. And I said,
Especially because
"No
by then you
way."
should be on like your
That
second
is a lot.
test. Like, so it means they've probably gone for their first and not gone again for
Yeah.
their second one.
And so they were saying that the reason why this is happening is because ladies are scared that it's going to hurt, and they're embarrassed also about the process of having to obviously have your legs open in front of someone, and they
Yeah.
Clearly
Put
not
in
that
a-
embarrassed because if you've been doing what you've been doing.
And this is the thing,
Exactly.
but
But you can get it
That's
without.
it.
Oh, no,
Yeah,
no, you
this is the
can't.
You
thing.
need the fluids.
You need but you know what? Yeah, even though I know it's really bad, but I was someone who delayed to get my smear test.
Really?
Why were you though?
Why?
I don't know. I think. Do you know why? I'll be honest with you. So, I was scared the first time because I kind of thought, oh my God, cervical cancer. Like, what about if, I don't know.
results.
Yeah, I was thinking, what about the results? And the first time I got a smear test, I remember the test came back inconclusive or something. And they said that you've got to go again because we saw something and blah, blah, blah. And my whole body just panicked. I was like, oh my God. So it was bad enough that I already like kind of stalled it. I think I got my first smear test like just before I got married. So literally, like you said, I got married at 26. So I waited for quite some time. I think and they'd been writing me letters and letters and letters and I didn't go. And then,
Is it 25 that they write to you?
Back
so
then,
yeah,
that
back
was the
then,
first stage, yeah.
back then that was the first stage, exactly. But they had been writing to me for years, but I just thought, you know what, let me just do it now before I get married and just get this over with. And then after that, when I got it, again, like I said, I was scared. It wasn't more about the embarrassment. I think I was just scared of the results. I was scared of the results and I couldn't really relax properly. But anyway, I done it and then the results came back and then it was completely fine again. But what do you guys think about this? I mean, is this just something that actually is something to do with my health? So I'm just going to go and get it.
I think it's
anyway?
really important.
Or do you ever just kind of like,
anything to do with your health is really important.
Of course,
you have to really take care of your body and yourself because it's going to take care of you in your old age.
Yep.
And I've been having this conversation again with my younger cousins to really, really take care of themselves, especially, you know, if they're being sexually active, to go and get checked, go and speak to the gynae, go and speak to the GP, go and like do all these things. Don't be scared about it because I think when those conversations don't happen, that's when you're like vulnerable to anything. You're susceptible to anything, and by the time you know it, because you're like you don't have knowledge about these processes and you may be fearful about these processes, anything can go wrong, and it's better to catch them and intercede early.
Yeah.
So it can be sorted.
Yeah,
You know,
100%.
so I really, really champion that. So it's good.
I've always wondered though, like, you know, people that are scared to have their smear test done, do you not go and get your sexual health checkups as well? Because it's very similar for females.
Well, lots
anyways.
of people don't get
do.
sexual
a
health
lot
checks.
of people don't at all.
Bare
Some
people do not
have
get
never been checked.
STD. Yeah, some people
Yeah.
That
have
literally
been
made my
checked.
heart
never
go
been checked.
like.
I remember one of my friends here. She
Bare
had
people don't get
loads of
checked.
partners.
Yeah,
not like
and
she
like,
was.
I just know I'm safe.
I think at the time we were about 22, and by that time she had a few partners, and I remember telling her we're going to like the gynae. You have to go. I'm going for a smear test. Like, come with me. Why don't you get checked? And she got. She was like, I've never been checked, and I lost my virginity when I was like 16, and I was like, wow.
She's playing with her
So
life.
she actually had chlamydia.
Oh, Lord.
So, but luckily for her, it was just a pill, and she
Early.
was treated.
Okay.
So
But that's crazy. Why does it need to get to the point where you have something for you to go and
And
check
she didn't
something?
even know because
No,
some
but she didn't
things
know.
there
It
are
was-
no
and she
Yeah,
had to
signs.
exactly.
convince her, yeah.
Some things
Yeah,
there
yeah,
are no
that's
signs.
true,
You
actually.
don't have any symptoms.
I don't know. I'm a self-confessed hypochondriac. So I will go not out of the fear of the process, but out of the fear that there's something wrong. You know, and me, any ping, bang, boom in my body, I'm like, doctor! I'm like, hey! I need to go to a doctor. Like, I'm that person. So literally, you guys will laugh at me. So literally recently, I kind of felt some abdominal, groinal
it's the
pain.
field you work in, you know. It
Yeah,
has to be.
maybe. And I was just like, something's wrong. Like, I'd already kind of had some challenges with my health. Like, I was really sick over like the Christmas period. Like, I'm not feeling good. So I was just like, what's going on? I'm really paro. So then, you know me.
Dr. Giggles.
Read it. I was like, oh no. And so I know I
Self-diagnosing.
went to get a smear last year, in April. And I couldn't for the life of me remember the results. So I convinced myself. I said, these people have not sent me the results. I'm sitting here. Only God knows what is happening. I need to get the results. And so I called my doctor and I was like, so I've had a smear test. I don't remember the results. I've checked. And could you please check my records and tell me the results? And obviously, thankfully, obviously they said, oh, the woman on the phone that gives me jokes. Every single time I call her, she's like, oh, I can't see anything. She's hold on. I think I can see something. Every single time. What's wrong with you, bruv? Why do you say you can't see if you haven't looked properly? So she was like, I can't see. You can see she's scrolling there. I can't see. Hold on. Got some notes. I got some notes.
Read the damn notes.
That's not
Okay.
it.
Okay. It was fine. Everything was fine. And I was like, okay, thank you. So I'm one of those people that I need to know. Like I need to know because I think one of the things they tell you with obviously those types of things, the sooner that they're
able to catch
it, you know, the better your chances of survival. And for me personally, again, because of the field I work in, you know, one, I know what causes cervical cancer. So you've got the HPV, which there's hundreds of strains, and actually, not all of them are causes of cervical cancer, but you only get exposed to HPV through sexual activity. So for me, it's one of those things where it's like everybody could be fine, or you could be unlucky and not be fine, or be exposed to the strain that unfortunately is the cause of cervical cancer. So for me, I personally want to get an HPV vaccine. But I've read about it because, you know, they offer it to girls now.
Yeah, they do.
In schools.
Oh, yeah.
Because the whole idea is that if you get the vaccine before you're of the age where you're having sex, you're likely to get cervical cancer. But obviously, I'm a grown ass woman. They're gonna be like, "Girl, go sit somewhere."
Yeah, you ain't getting this HPV.
But I personally feel like, you know, and I've read it. I think the chances of you being protected if you've been exposed, there's something, but basically the chances of being protected decrease over time. The more obviously you're likely to have been exposed. But I kind of feel like, well, why don't I just get the vaccine? But again, that's my hypochondria. Because I'm just like, if there's a vaccine, surely I should go and get the vaccine. Because why would I not?
See, I don't get vaccinations for anything. I don't even get the flu jab.
I don't get the flu jab.
I don't get
anything.
that.
But then for me, it's because
this is more serious.
I've never had the flu.
Yeah, that's
so
what I
I just feel like, why play with fire? But with something like that, cervical cancer, because I'm not in control of, I can't check everybody
just to avoid.
Like, you can't say to somebody, oh, you like, I can literally get married and my husband, God forbid, could have a strain of HPV that is cervical cancer causing. You just don't know. And so you just kind of feel
just to protect yourself.
It's just one of those things like, if they're saying that's what could protect me, why not? But again, that's hypochondria because the idea is if you're going for your cervical smears regularly, there's no reason where if they do find something abnormal, you can't be treated. But I don't have children. So for me, that's the main reason why I kind of feel like, let me do that. Because if I had children, then it sounds crazy, but you'd kind of be like, God forbid, if something did happen to me, I'd be like, and they had to say, oh, you have to remove your cervix or something like that. I'd be like, it's fine. I've got children. But I don't have children. So for me, it's just that thing in the back of my mind where I'm just like, if God forbid anything happens, it could affect my fertility. So I think that's where I stand on it.
But can I ask, is it so when you become sexually active and you change your sexual partners, is it better to have a smear test then or wait until you're like 23?
I don't get the question.
I get the question, but it's the partner that would carry the little 1% or whatever. So it's after she's had sex with the new partner.
I know what you mean.
But obviously get checked sexually from your last partner. But the smear, she's not going to get whatever, or whoever, the person's not going to get a higher chance of having cervical cancer with the old partner. If they're having sex with a new partner, it's going to come from the new partner.
I know what you mean, but I'm just asking, if you're sexually active and you have multiple partners.
Oh, multiple?
Yeah.
Oh,
and you
no.
have you're sexually active,
one,
like you
I
have
thought you meant
multiple
one
partners.
end relationship, a new relationship.
Okay, so it's like, do you wait until your 23rd birthday to ask for a smear test, or because you know you've had accumulated partners?
I would ask as soon as
I don't know.
possible.
I thought you just got invited to this smear test.
You do.
That's how it works.
You get invited. That's why I'm confused, because you get invited.
You get invited to have a smear test.
Can you just go and say?
I don't think it was optional.
No, you don't electively go and say, I'd like to
send you a letter
unless there's a reason. So if you go to the doctor talking about certain symptoms and they're saying these symptoms are worrying, and in order to eliminate certain things, we're going to give you a smear test. But you don't get a smear test until you're 25.
Well, 23 now.
Is it 23?
It's
definitely decreased.
Okay, I don't know what age it is, but
either way,
you get your letter from
you get a letter
to say
when you
and then every 5 years.
Every 3 years.
Is it 3 years?
Every 3 years.
I don't know when it is anymore.
No, it's changed. So
I don't
it was
know.
5, and then
it's every 3 years.
Then you go, and then you have another one.
Another one last
It's
year.
regular now. Yeah.
And again, last year again, I stored again. So remember, I told you the first time I had it was when I got married, 26. Imagine now, I'd now only done it last year.
Still calling
29.
Yeah.
Technically, your next one should have been at 29.
Yeah, exactly. Can you see? And I didn't do it. I didn't do it.
But I don't know. Like, I think for me,
But I just thought I'm playing with
go
fire.
get
I
your
don't know why I'm
health
not doing
checks.
it. Go and get it's important.
Go get
Again,
your health checks.
I know you can't really listen to me because, like I said, I was stalling, but I don't know why I was stalling. Again, I think I was stalling because of the first results when it came back inconclusive, and then I kind of panicked. And then even this time, there's always one kind of drama. I'm telling you. So even this time when I now went, the woman was like, can't seem to find enough cells. So she was just in there.
Digging and digging
Yeah.
and
I said,
digging.
hello. And she
You're
was
gonna
like,
take out my intestines.
yeah, she was
straight.
like, can you cough, please? And she said, okay, just relax. I said, I'm relaxed. I was like, you telling me to relax.
I'm not gonna
is
lie.
gonna relax.
Make me-
It's
yeah.
wrong.
It's not pleasant. I'm
Yeah,
sorry. The
it's-
last time I went,
She's like-
I was literally looking at this woman like
She was getting on my
"Want to
nerves.
kill me,
And
fam."
it was
Like,
really
not
annoying.
nice.
It was really annoying because the first time I had it, the woman was fantastic. Like honestly, I say the service was fantastic. but this time round, I just felt like this woman has got this whole tube up in me, and then she's now got this little scrapey thing, and then you're telling me you
Yeah.
can't find cells. What
I
are you
told
talking
you
about?
guys about my friend that went. Well, this was just for a normal sexual health test. The woman that was doing her test was like, "Well, why are you so tense? If you could have a dick go up in there, why can't you?"
Oh yeah, remember you said that.
So I
That is
definitely think
disgusting.
it depends on the person on the other end, the person who's taking the test.
I
doing
would
the
have sued
swab.
her.
I feel like when people say that stuff around
It's very
a
insensitive.
dick and all that
You
stuff,
are a professional.
So I'm
Don't
sorry.
ever talk to me like that.
that's
Well,
wrong
you're not-
first and
you're not
foremost.
professional
But
then.
people have a lot of misconceptions about
Why
your
people
cervix
go-
and
yeah.
people's relaxed state
Yeah.
and non-relaxed state
Yeah,
and the
yeah.
size
Yeah.
and all those things.
Yeah.
There's so many things that influence how your cervix dilates and is how high it is
Yeah.
and how
Yeah,
low
yeah,
it is, all
yeah,
those
yeah.
things. That was so ignorant of that woman because
Yeah.
that shows
Very.
she's clearly
But
not
she
educated.
should know that because she's been
educated.
in the field for.
No.
She's not educated.
Let me just say something.
A lot of these
just
people
because
are-
people are nurses or doctors
No. I
doesn't
get
mean that.
I think what her problem is she's like a yardie and she could tell my friend's Jamaican, so she just thought like
Oh,
how
she felt like
Nigerian
it was
she
felt
felt
overly
like I've had
familiar.
people tell me that's not
Yeah.
how you say your surname. You say your surname like this. It's
Yeah.
none of your business. Like
Yeah.
how I say my surname is how I say my
Oh,
surname.
that
So I
familiarity.
think she just
Yeah.
felt
Yeah.
like very
Yeah,
familiar.
but I feel like
I still
it was
think that's disgusting.
rude.
Yeah,
it's
That's
terrible.
rude.
I
And then
think
when
that's
people talk,
disgusting.
I remember when I was, I asked even guys because remember there was a time when we were growing up, people would say stuff, oh, that person's loose and all this stuff
Yeah.
like that. I've
How can
asked
you tell?
guys, it's not true.
Of course it's not true.
And I used to, because I obviously I don't know, but
What loose is in
Loose
what?
vagina.
like you know what you
You
say, oh, that
bucket. They
girl's
said you bucket. She's
Oh,
got a
do you know
bucket.
what?
That girl-
I always
Yeah.
thought loose meant like, oh, she's a skirt. Like she just
but
slipped
it comes-
around.
Yeah, but it also
Yeah.
refers
But
to
if
the
she slips
Oh,
around,
to-
she's like,
to-
it's
a
just
wide
loose.
vagina.
Yeah,
Yeah.
because
Oh.
she's a skirt, everything becomes a bit
Yeah.
free.
Yeah.
But apparently it's a like an
I
old
think
wives'
it's a
tale.
myth.
It is a myth.
It's
I
not,
don't
it's not
know
when
this.
people
If
say
a
that, oh,
baby's
you
head
have
comes out
kids.
your vagina,
Yeah, when
and
people
it
say,
goes
oh,
back,
you have
have
kids,
kids
you have
and
kids.
then
and
you're
you're
not
going to be
true.
wide
No, it's
open.
not.
Yeah.
I
It's
felt, I
not
think I was
true.
tired than
Not
I've ever
true.
been before. What are you talking about? I
Do you
was
know
like,
what, yeah?
whoosh.
Do you know what?
When I
One
done it
of
again
my-
afterwards, I felt like I was a virgin. I was like, yeah, husband, just wait till let me ease me in. Nah. It's a lie from the pits of hell. It's a lie.
No, do you know what? Yeah, one of my friends, she's been married for a while. It's like 5 or 6 years now. And she literally won't have kids because she's scared of that. She's
Wow.
like,
Her
see,
vagina.
she said, I don't want my vagina to be loose.
Sorry, but that's vanity.
She said, if I have a child, I'm only having a cesarean.
That's
Wow.
pathetic.
Well, Posh Spice did that. All her kids are C-sections.
Yeah.
But I don't know if that was her reason behind it.
Some
Well, she
women,
had
it's
push
will.
to
It's
push.
that's their
Yeah.
reason. They
Yeah.
just want to be the same
And-
for their husbands.
Bruv, I think you're better. You know
You
they
heal
say,
better.
they said that. Oh, I don't want to mess up the situation. What situation can you mess up?
Please.
Your body was made to do
To heal.
this.
Yeah,
well,
Therefore, your body will
exactly
go
that.
back to what it's
How it
meant to
was.
be.
Exactly.
It will restore itself. So what are you talking
Exactly.
about?
Exactly.
The same way you get a wound and you cut yourself, is your arm just gonna? Is that
Continue
gash going to
bleeding.
be there,
Yeah.
Yeah.
bleeding forever?
And there's always Kegels. Kegels.
You should be doing your Kegels all the time, girls.
Pelvic floors.
I'm doing them now.
I didn't do it.
Kegels.
The Kegels are not gonna.
I didn't even know how to do it. I was just saying. And then somebody said, Georgina, you don't have to move your body.
Actually, no one's supposed
supposed to
to
know that
know.
you're doing. I was like, my sister was like, what are you doing? I was like, Kegels. It's just like, why is your whole shoulders moving?
I'm tired. Oh my days. Kegels.
Oh, goodness. But yeah,
Your bae.
the moral of the story is go and get your health, go and get yourself checked out. Cervical cancer is not a joke.
I
It's
like
not a
Annette
joke.
It's not a
said,
joke,
If you look
and it
after your
seems to
health
be-
now, it will look after you in your old age.
And
That's
Innit?
a word.
Check
That's a
that
word.
fanny, girl. Check that fanny.
I cannot. Such a good note.
Such a good note.
Such a good note. And you spread. Okay. Thank you.
Bye.
Bye.
Thanks for listening to another episode of
And on that note,
don't forget to like, share, subscribe, comment, tell a friend to tell a friend, your aunties, your uncles, your sisters, and the whole shambaz. Thank you.
Bye.